Hey everyone, welcome to this series called My Career Journeys. Actually, I wanted to share whatever I have learned in my career so far, and I thought, like, what should I do? So I came up with this idea. I hope you will like it. This is the first episode where I'm going to talk about an interesting story about like getting my first job offer. Yeah, it was my first job offer. So the story is like, have you ever been or have you ever seen a job offer appear from thin air? I mean, completely created on the spot. So it happened with me when I was in 8th standard. Yep, very small. I saw it happen exactly in 5 minutes. It wasn't a tech incubator. Of course, I was not aware of what tech is. And I was at a dusty roadside tea stall. I mean, if you have been to India or if you live in Mumbai or any major cities, I think you know what I'm talking about. So my friend was trying to get hired, and before he even got his first assignment, the grocery store owner posted him like, yes, right there in the middle of the street. It was my first introduction to real world headhunting. Here is what happened or what I learned. So, so it was Saturday afternoon. I am 13. I'm with my usual crew roaming around. Is it roaming around might be a generous term. Actually, we were just like walking, wasting our time. You know what things you do as a 13-year-old. So my friend, let's name change his name. Is called Raj. Has this like random burst of motivation and says, "Hey, I need a job." He thought like, okay, he might be kidding because he was like maybe smaller than me, and he walks right into a local tea stall owner and says, "Hey, uh, I know I need a job." And he says, "Do you have work?" The owner looks at him and says, "Okay, take this cash and go ahead and buy some sugar." So we go to the grocery store and uh, we started our journey. Like we are doing this job together. So we were just there to help him. And it was like it was trial basically. So he just wanted to see if this guy can really work. So we walk to the grocery store, and Raj says, "Hey," to the store owner. He says, "I want to buy some sugar for this tea stall owner. I've started working, and this is all in Mumbai, right? So yeah, like of course we're talking Hindi. I'm trying to just convert like whatever I remember because I don't have a very strong memory, but yeah." And then the grocery owner, like it's now I think the grocery stores have changed a lot, but it was like a very small grocery store, and now we have malls and everything. And he looks at him and says, "Okay, okay, let's pack this sugar." And then he asks him like how much he's paying you, like how much is your salary? And he says, I think he mentioned some like 100 rupees at that time. And the grocery owner says, "Okay, take 50 rupees more and you can start working here." We were surprised, like he got headhunted right there, and he looks at us and then says, "Take the sugar and go back and ask that guy that I have started working here." And we were really surprised. So I was like, okay, this is strange. I mean, I have never seen something like this happening. And then we walk back to the tea stall owner and hand him over the sugar and says, he asks like, "Where is that guy? Where is Raj?" And we tell him, "Oh, he got a new job." So the grocery owner gave him 50 rupees more. Now he's working there. And he was like totally confused. Maybe it was a new thing at that time, right? Hadn't take right there. So he says, "Okay, do you want a job?" I look at him and I was like, "What?" And I didn't took the job. Of course, I said something and then I was like, "Oh, I need to do some homework," and then I left. But something changed at that day. I realized that I'm actually wasting my time here, roaming with these guys who later got into drugs and everything. And I was like, okay, this is not what I want for myself. And then I decided, okay, I don't need to roam with these guys anymore, and I left. And that also helped me in future because I don't wanted to spend my time living in the slums of Mumbai. I wanted to grow up in my career, and I said, okay, let's move on. And then I stopped actually hanging out with them. I started focusing more on study, and this is like my first job offer, like how it happened, and how also it also changed me. And having a good people around you is always the best thing you can do to yourself. Have good really nice people who want to do something in their life, who are not looking for something to just change at the spot. So yeah, that's my little story, like how I got my first job offer. But I'll come up with more stories in this series, and see you in the next episode.